R. KGGR invites you to tune in at 1 p.m. on Fridays for our weekly interview with Rob Stern of Mortgage Solutions Financial. Rob has a wealth of information on the American dream of home ownership, credit repair, and refinancing. Be prepared to call in with questions at 972-988-1040. That's 972-988-1040. Rob Stern, Fridays at 1 p.m. on 1040 a.m. KGGR.
Well, good afternoon to you, everyone, and welcome to your community leader, 1040 AM and 106.9 FM, KGGR. And if you are online live on our webpage, that's KHVN. That's my old station. That's KGGR AM.com. Again, that's KGGR AM.com. We welcome you here to the Mortgage Solutions Financial Show every Friday from 1 p.m. until 1:30 with your host, Rob Stern. And listen, let me give you the number now. I know you're going to want to ask some questions about home lending, home buying, all things VA loans. Rob Stern is the man for you. The number to call live in the studio, 972-988-1040. Everyone, welcome to the stage, Rob Stern. Hey, Rob.
Hello, Tonya. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. I'm very excited to be speaking with you on this Friday, the 13th.
Yes, Friday the 13th. Listen, every day is still a good day.
Every day, you know what? Every day is a blessing, right?
Yes, absolutely. So tell us what's new in the house of marketing. Before you do that, I just thought someone may have tuned in and they may not know, Rob, all your history, who you are, and what you do for so many homeowners and potential homeowners right here in the Metroplex. Tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. No, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity, Tonya. So my name is Rob Stern. I am a direct mortgage lender and a mortgage banker. I've done this now for the past 32 years. The name of my group is the Lenders Residential Mortgage Team, and I'm with Mortgage Solutions Financial. What makes us so unique, so special, and so different is the way that we close our mortgage loans. As a direct mortgage lender and banker, we work without any of the risk-based overlays that you will traditionally find from other third-party groups. What that basically means is we write our own guidelines, we run our own credit, we manage our entire file from beginning to end. Everything from the pricing to the underwriting, to the processing, to the secondary fulfillment. That gives us a lot more capacity. As an example, VA mortgage loans with no minimum credit score. I have no problem there. A VA mortgage with no minimum credit score, I certainly encourage veterans to give us a call and we can speak about that in more detail. In addition to that, FHA loans down to a 500 credit score. Again, this is because I'm a direct conduit lender to HUD and to the FHA. So what I basically do is I basically serve the underserved. I acknowledge the individuals in the marketplace who are not acknowledged, who are not treated with the respect and the courtesy that they deserve. Credit is very subjective, and when I say it's subjective, the worth of an individual should not be just a credit number, Tonya. There's a lot of good people out there who have had bumps and bruises along the way. Clearly, coming out of this economy or going into this economy, however you would take a look at it, we had 2 years of COVID. We still have some significant illness out there. There's a lot of recovering going on. People have been damaged. People have been hurt. In many cases, not through fault of their own. We are here to try and right that wrong, to try and again help those who need help, who need that additional guidance. That is not to say that I don't work with individuals who have strong credit, because I do as well. But the point is, we're a niche mortgage lender, a boutique mortgage lender. And we are very proud and happy to be part of this show on a weekly basis.
Yeah. And you know what? We want to again invite everyone to call in. They say it's not a good season to buy cars, but we do know that it is always a good season to buy houses.
Mhm.
And so we want to give them that telephone number again, 972-988-1040. We invite you to call in to ask your questions. It's the beginning of the year. People got New Year's resolutions. I know you have one that says, this year, I want to get in the process of buying a new house. Well, you need to call Rob Stern. And Rob, it doesn't have to be a pre-owned home. You also provide loans for those that want to build a home from the ground up. Is that
Oh,
correct?
sure. Yes, ma'am. No, I have no problem working with home builders. As a matter of fact, there are several home builders that I work very closely with here in the Dallas Fort Worth area and beyond throughout the state of Texas. A mortgage loan quite literally is based on the individual's capacity, meaning their credit, their income, the amount of debt that they carry. That's how we would identify capacity. What they choose to purchase is literally up to them. Whether it's a brand new home or a pre-owned home. Personally, I have some feelings as to the way new homes are being built and the quality of new homes versus some of the older homes in the market. But that's nothing more than just a personal opinion. If you want a new home, I can certainly help you through the process. And like I said, I work with several home builders that are willing to even pay closing costs if that's what it's all about. But the point to what we're doing here, the whole point to our consistent show and the message that we keep trying to put out there, Tonya, is that you have to start the process somewhere. It is, it is clearly a waste of money to rent anything. You should always own when you're given the opportunity to own. So with that being said, begin the process of moving towards home ownership, whether it's today, 6 months from today, a year from today. The fact of the matter is, you can never accomplish or achieve a goal that you don't set for yourself. You got to start somewhere, and today is the day. It's a brand new year, and you were talking earlier about New Year's resolutions. Well, a lot of people are going to be getting those big tax return checks too.
Yeah.
This is the right thing to use that tax return on. You don't need a new stereo for the car. You don't need to go take a trip to Hawaii or something. Use that money to become a homeowner, and it will pay you dividends for years to come, for your whole lifetime.
Yeah. And after it pays you those dividends, you can take some equity out, and do some things with it if you want to. Then you can go on that trip to Hawaii and get that stereo for your car when you have all this great equity built up in your home. I want to talk a little bit about those of us that are already homeowners and looking to maybe get another loan or transfer our loan over to Mortgage Solutions Financial. Tell us about the transferring loan thing. Say, for instance, I'm with my mortgage company now, and I say, you know what? I just really like Rob Stern. I just really like all they stand for. I like the job that they do, over at Mortgage Solutions Financial. How easy is it for us to transfer from one mortgage company to the other?
Well, it's truthfully not difficult to move a mortgage loan. Typically, that would be identified as refinancing the mortgage loan. So, quite honestly, while I'm certainly available as a resource and available to help anybody move through the process, the reality is that rates are significantly higher now than they were over the past 2 years. So, when it comes to refinancing, usually we'll see refinancing have some sort of a motivation behind it, such as I want to refinance my mortgage because I need the equity out of my house to pay bills, maybe send the kids back to school or what have you. I want to refinance my house because I have a much higher interest rate than where rates are in the marketplace right now. Or I want to refinance my house because I need to use the equity to accomplish something that I couldn't accomplish. I couldn't accomplish on my own. There's a lot of reasons for refinancing that actually go past the interest rate perspective. But the point is, and this is what we want everybody to understand, A phone call is a very simple thing, and it doesn't hurt. Just give me a call. Let's just talk through the process. I certainly appreciate the fact that somebody would want to do business with me, and I acknowledge that. I take great pride not only in the people that I serve, but the community that I serve, and so it's great being acknowledged. My telephone number, if I may, is 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. You can certainly call us on the air or off the air if that works better, but I'm available anytime. My website and email is going to be lenderstexas. That is lenderstexas.com. And I just invite everybody to reach out, if for no other reason than just to get some good, honest answers to your questions.
Right. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to be well informed as a potential home buyer. A lot of times, I wish, Rob, that I would have had a long conversation with you before I bought my first home. I know so much now that I'm in the house and gone through the process. I had a great experience, but there were some things I was like, I should have asked this and I should have known that. And now I should have done this when the inspector came, and I should have. So, Rob is here because he knows all areas of home ownership. And if he doesn't know, he has a team of folks at Mortgage Solutions Financial that he can just push a button and say, I got the answer. Let me ask this person. You all also have a team of underwriters, and you have a referral list of real estate agents. Tell us a little bit more about what's all under the umbrella of Mortgage Solutions Financial.
Sure. Well, we are a family-owned company, and in 2022, we did several $1 billion in originating mortgage loans. We are self-contained. We have our own originators, our own processors, our own shippers, our own funders. We do all of our own underwriting, all of our own pricing, all of our guidelines. But more importantly, with 32 years in the industry, I've got relationships with realtors all over the Fort Worth and Dallas area. Great relationships with home builders that I can refer out to if, in fact, that is the desired result of the relationship. But the point and the thing to consider through all this is, before you make a move as a consumer, the first thing to do, the right thing to do, is to be pre-approved for that mortgage loan. Meaning before you go out and start shopping for a home, make sure that you can afford the home. Make sure that you can qualify for that home, because what is even worse than being told no when it comes to home ownership is going out and entering into a contract and setting your hopes with false expectations, only to find out that you cannot qualify. And I got to say, one of the biggest obstacles that we face here, and one of the biggest things that I see oftentimes are the mortgage companies that support the home builders. Most of these home builders own their own mortgage companies, and because of the fact that there's such a long lag between the time you contract for a home and the 9 months that it may take to build that home, oftentimes you'll see the home builder mortgage company just approve you for the sake of getting you on the board, rather than actually going through the full pre-approval process to make sure that you do qualify, only to find out when you're 60 days before closing, you can't buy that house for one reason or another. To me, that's not an acceptable way to do business. I've never done business that way. It's unnerving to me that the industry, certainly that home builders are not regulated a little bit closer as to how they operate. But this is a repetitive theme that I hear over and over and over again. Again, it's free to ask questions. There's no good reason not to give us a call. There's no reason not to at least begin the home buying process with a telephone call and see what your opportunity is.
Now, let me ask you, I heard you talk about those developers that, have their own mortgage companies, and they don't pre-qualify folks. They just tell them, come on in. Yeah, we can build you a house. And then, like you said, months down the road, they find out, oh, you don't qualify. And I know it's been 6 months and yeah, but you don't qualify. So let me ask you this. Someone may be listening saying, Rob, that's my story right there. That's my story. What would you tell them to do in that instance?
Well, first thing I'd say is I'm sorry. Because that's not the way it's supposed to be. And you're a homeowner. Purchasing a home should be a pleasant experience. It should be a goal that you strive to achieve, and you have positive feelings at the end of your journey. The reality is, again, when you're dealing with a company that is trying to be all encompassing, like these home builders, you can very well end up at the bottom of the at the bottom side of a negative situation. What I would say is don't ever give up on your quest towards home ownership. If you want to buy a home, put your confidence with somebody who can literally help you achieve that dream. Now, that doesn't mean that you can buy a home today, because in all honesty, there are people who have to clean some things up.
Yeah.
But as a lender, Mortgage Solutions, the Lenders Residential Mortgage Team, we don't like saying no to people. We like saying yes. We like saying you can buy a home, but not now. I'm going to tell you how to get there, though, and we'll work with you. We'll hold your hand till you get to the finish line. Our goal is to have a positive outcome for everyone. And again, that's the whole reason for us to have the relationship we have. That's why we keep doing this show. That's why I reach out to the community so aggressively, because I know there is a need, and we're trying to fulfill that need.
Yeah, I want to better equip first-time home buyers or potential ones with 3 top things they need to know and do before they move forward with any developer to develop a home, or even to come to you as a mortgage professional. What's the 3 things that they need to do to be proactive to get themselves ready so that it can be a smooth transition?
Yes, ma'am. Well, very clearly, one of those 3 things would be to make sure you have stable income. Not only because I'm going to verify the stability of your income, whether it's self-employed income or your W-2'd on your income, meaning they take taxes out of your checks, but stability of income also means your confidence in your ability to actually pay that mortgage. Because contrary to what a lot of people seem to think, it is not a mortgage lender's intent to ever take a house back through foreclosure.
Yeah.
The last thing a lender wants is your home, because it just adds to the abnormality of our relationship. We are in the business of financing people's dreams, not bursting them. We don't want a house back. We don't want to have to go through all of the mechanics it takes to go to foreclose on a home and have to turn around and resell it. So the first thing would be consistency of income. The second thing would be to make sure your credit is at a point where you are comfortable. Now, that doesn't mean you have to have excellent credit, because clearly you don't, but you should know what's on your credit report, because one of the first questions that we will ask as a lender, or first questions that I'll ask, is, do you know what your credit looks like? Mm-hmm. Real simple, easy answer, but something that people don't always know. Now, again, that knife cuts both ways, Tonya, because sometimes people say, I don't think my credit's very good, and when I go and pull it, they've got outstanding credit.
Yeah.
And so the point is, just know where you are from a financial perspective, your credit and your income. And the last question would be about the debt you carry. Can you afford comfortably to purchase a home? Meaning, I don't see things like daycare for children. If you've got to pay $1,000 a month in daycare for your child, and that's something that's going to impact your ability to purchase a home, be aware, be cognizant of that, so that you make a decision that doesn't cramp your ability to live the lifestyle that you've worked so hard to achieve. Those are really the big fundamentals when it comes to getting started on a mortgage loan. And desire would be I guess the fourth and final component. Make certain that you want to work towards home ownership, because if you don't truly want to become a homeowner, then the words, the conversation, everything that we do is essentially falling on deaf ears, and it's not going to give you the desired result at the end of the process or the end of the conversation. I can help anybody become a homeowner if they want to become a homeowner, but you got to start there. Desire is probably number one.
Yeah. You know what? Let's talk a little bit about, the debt to ratio thing versus credit. Which is most important? That I got a 800 credit score? Does that trump the amount of debt that I have? The debt to ratio that I have? Which one is most important? That my debt is low or that my credit score is high?
Well, the answer is both and neither one. So, so the reality is you don't have to have an 800 credit score to purchase a home. You clearly can purchase a home with a score as low as a 500 credit score, depending on the complexion of your debt and why the scores are in that range.
So what type of debt you have?
Yes, ma'am. It's a matter of what type of debt you have. It's a matter of how old that debt is. The VA specifically says we have no concern about a credit score, but we do have a concern about charge-offs, collections, and late payments in the last 12 months. So as a lender, when I look at a veteran's credit, I don't even acknowledge the credit score. I look at the actual composition of their credit.
How you've been paying your bills? Have you been paying them on time?
Yes,
Are you up to date on your payments? Gotcha.
There you go. And your rent. Are you paying your rent? Are you paying your rent on time? Now, something else of note, and this is very important, I think, and that is for people to understand. You want to pay any of your debts with a documentable resource. What I mean is you don't want to pay cash.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that pay cash for their rent, as an example. Well, that can really cause us a problem when it comes time to verify that rent, because there's no trail. If there's no trail, then we have to find an alternate method to document or verify that rent has been paid. Now, that doesn't mean we can't do it, but it means we need to know right up front exactly what's going on, how it's being handled. And I would say I probably see that a fair amount of the time. Student loans are another thing to concern ourselves with. There are people who, through the course of the past few years, have become delinquent on their student loans. I know they're in forbearance now, but when you have a student loan that is delinquent, that will stop you from any type of federal funding. Meaning FHA, VA, USDA. If the federal government is backing that mortgage loan, they will not guarantee a loan when you do not pay your student loans on time. Now, that doesn't mean you cannot have lates, but if you've gone delinquent, those loans need to be put back together, and you need to put yourself in some type of a repayment plan. So, for those that are listening or watching us that do have delinquent student loans, the right thing to do is to reach out to your servicer, and certainly if you need to, you can call me. I can tell you how to reach out to them and give you a telephone number. But reach out to your servicer and negotiate some sort of a resolution. Most servicers will start a repayment plan for as little as $5 a month, and allow you a 6-month period of making that payment at $5 per month before they reinstate the loan. And once that loan's reinstated, then you're eligible again for any kind of federally backed mortgage. So you just got to start somewhere. That's the bottom line. Nothing, Tonya, is at the point where it cannot be repaired.
Right.
But you got to take the step. You've got to move forward with that commitment, with the determination that you want to become a homeowner, and we will get you across the finish line.
Yeah. As we move to the bottom of the hour, we got about 4 minutes left. Rob, let me just say this, because I think the student loan is one of the ones that people say they never even try for a home because they think, no, I owe the government already. They're not going to give me a loan. But you're saying you can still buy a home if you're in good standing on your student loans with the government.
Yes, ma'am. And if you're not in good standing with your student loans, that does not disqualify you from buying a home. What it does disqualify you from is entering into a contract on on a government-backed loan at this point in
Gotcha.
time.
Mhm.
So putting these loans back together is entirely possible. Something that I see very often. I have no problem in reaching out on behalf of the individual to the student loan servicer or through the government portal to get the information that's needed to restructure that loan and get it put back together. But again, I would equate it to being an ostrich. You don't accomplish anything by putting your head in the sand when you're fully exposed everywhere else. Acknowledge the problem, and we will solve it. But you have to acknowledge the difficulty right up front. Tell me what's going on, because I'm going to find it out anyway.
Right. And it
You know,
saves everybody time, and we can move
save
on to
us
something
time,
else.
save us some aggravation. Let's go ahead and get the loan put together properly, and we'll get it closed the way that it needs to close.
Absolutely. Well, Rob, we have about 2.5, 3 minutes. I want you to tell them how to contact you and all of your social media handles, because I know they're going to want to call you.
Well, thank you. And I love telephone calls from listeners. I'm available anytime. I'm available on Saturdays if need be. I take appointments on the weekends if that's what's necessary. So again, my name is Rob Stern. Last name spelled Stern. The best way to contact me is 972-739-2350. That's 972-739-2350. Purchasing or refinancing a home, that's what I'm here for. You can also find me on the internet. Just go to Lenders Texas, spelled out LendersTexas.com. And if you would like to find me on Facebook, you can find me as the Lenders Residential Mortgage Team.
Absolutely. Rob, it's always a pleasure to be with you here every Friday.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's great to see you again, and I look forward to next week.
Absolutely. Again, everyone, you've been listening to Mortgage Solutions Financial with your host and expert, Rob Stern, here every Friday from 1 p.m. until 1:30 right here on 1040 a.m. KGGR. Rob Stern, we will see you next Friday at 1 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
KGGR invites you to tune in at 1 p.m. on Fridays for our weekly interview with Rob Stern of Mortgage Solutions Financial. Rob has a wealth of information on the American dream of home ownership, credit repair, and refinance.